Hey, everybody.
Whoa. We have matching shirts.
Yeah,
It's your old pal Marky. Hey, Chris, if you ask me why I like the way I'm playing, there's only one thing I can say to you.
Why you like the way you're playing?
I want to rock.
Don't ask him that.
Isn't that like that whole song is it's so cool and rockin', but like doesn't make any sense at all. Like, pardon me, D, but why do you like the way you're playing? I want to rock.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to rock.
Okay, cool. But yeah, anyway. Hey everybody, it's Matt and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. It's Sunday live stream and it's super cool to be with you guys. We've got a lot of cool stuff to talk about today. With me to my right, your left, of course, is Chris in the matching shirt. Behind the camera is the lovely Mrs. Toast, who does not have a Texas Toast shirt on, but you know what? You can't see her. Yeah, she does.
She's wearing the same shirt.
Yeah, we all have the same shirt.
We're twinsies times 3.
Yeah, triplets.
What?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out
yeah,
there.
yeah. So
And next week, are you sure I'm the Father's Day?
for all you guys whose pull-out game isn't very strong, happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Crap,
is it?
I'm the Father's Day.
I had a thing that was Samuel L. Jackson meme that said "Happy Father's Day, thank a motherfucker."
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway,
There you go.
Oh, I probably shouldn't say that.
BK $4.99 beer.
Hi, BK.
Beer time.
Beer time. Thank you,
for
BK.
that, and thank you for the other stuff too.
That's right, BK.
I didn't get stuff.
Yo, you know, BK sent us that big box.
Oh, from Hoboken.
Yeah.
I was just there in December. I could have just brought that with me home.
Well, you know, maybe next time you're in the Jersey area, is it the
Literally,
tri-state
I was
area?
in Hoboken. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe next time you're in the tri-state area, you can hang out with the BK.
Ariel's here too. I just saw her.
Hey, Ariel, how are you?
She says, "Hey, Matt and Chris."
Well, I
Hey,
guess
hey, hey.
Ariel.
I guess I'm
Yeah,
dog shit.
you're sucking. I did.
Oh no, and Mrs.
Oh,
Toast.
afterthought.
Yeah, we know. How
No, I
that
just
goes.
didn't read that part of it.
Oh, Sundays are fun. So, what do you want? What have you been up to today, Chris? You want to show everybody? You got a
should I
show and
yeah,
tell?
We could show it off a little bit.
A pre-reveal.
It's almost finished.
Not done yet. So if this is your guitar and you know who you are, it's not quite done yet. It's not ready for a reveal. We've got some tweaking to do. But this is a slim Les Paul carved top with a Floyd
Yep.
in all of its Floyd rosy goodness.
Who's John Meehan?
John Meehan? That's
Yeah.
John Meehan. What's this schmutz right here?
It's schmutz. It's just stuff.
Well, that's not part of the paint, though, right?
No, it'll come off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you ask who's John
Because he
Meehan?
wants to know if that's a Crimson Guitar steam pump.
Oh, this
Oh.
behind me? No, we're going to get to that. Yeah.
It kind of looks like it could be.
I thought he was talking about that. I'm like, it's a
Oh,
white
no.
guitar with black
Yeah.
hardware.
So,
Actually,
anyway, on the back.
And Joseph actually said he got Ben Crow from Crimson to comment on this on an Instagram.
That was a good start. I
Yeah.
think. Or I could start with
I
that.
could, yeah, I could. I've started with less or something.
Yeah, something
So
like that.
if you guys don't follow us on Instagram, you might want to think about it because we post pictures of wacky stuff all the time, and sometimes you never know who's gonna be watching.
I don't follow us on Instagram.
You're not an Instagrammer.
That's because I don't follow anybody.
Mrs.
Yeah.
Toast, are you on Instagram at all?
No.
Yeah. It's really, I use it to just show what the shop is up to. It also goes to Facebook. It automatically posts to Instagram and Facebook because it's easy to do. So yeah. So follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. It's fun. It's easy and fun. So.
Yep.
So yeah, I actually have been working on the Prostitute, the new Prostitute, and the Prostitute was a version. This Prostitute was a version of a guitar that I am still building for a customer. But it's got the arrow headstock, and he wanted the scooped out things. I wanted to make one with binding. His actually got the control or the pickup cavity routed today, and yeah, it's looking good.
Got to take advantage of Prostitute V1.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the Prostitute V1 later in the live stream because that's kind of our what we want to talk about thing today, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So
What else did we do this week?
Well, we sold the blue BKP daily driver with blue neck. And that's actually going out tomorrow. It's all ready to go. Our good friend Ike from Flipside Music, the Great American Guitar Store, hooked us up with some cases and some boxes, so it's ready to ship. I posted a picture of that on another Facebook group, the Telecast or something. Every so often I'll post a picture of like a daily driver on there. And someone said, "That's not a Tele." Thanks, dude. And so he had like this whole rant about like how it wasn't a real one, and I'm like, well, sorry that you are such a butthole, but get over yourself. Actually, you know what I said? I said, lighten up, Francis. And yeah.
He likes to be called Psycho.
Yeah, that's right.
If any of you,
Yeah.
I guess,
Not a
call
real
him
one.
Francis.
Okay.
So
I wonder what in his mind is a real one.
well, I think it has to say Fender.
Well,
so, yeah.
is a Mexican one a real one?
I'm sure it is.
Or
I don't know.
Is one made in the new factory a real one?
Oh, I see what you mean.
I mean, what's a real one?
Mrs. Toast is laughing. Something.
Tony says you butchered the prostitute, and now like you're Jack the Ripper.
I'm sort of like Jack the Ripper. Yeah, that's that's a good one. Hey, speaking of Tony,
Very clever, Tony.
Which Tony is that?
Something with a D with lots of consonants.
Oh, okay. All right. By a vowel, Tony. So it's not Tony NASCAR?
No, and he loves that when you call him Tony.
He does not like it, but I talked to him the other day, and he says to say hello to you, Mrs. Toast. So, yeah.
Yeah, not like Ariel.
Yeah, not like some people. So we've been working on some roasted flame maple necks. These are actually going on some guitars that they may get painted sometime soon, right? The actual bodies. So these will be really cool. There's one that's got 2 humbuckers and one that's got 3 single coils, a la the your favorite guitar in the whole world. But there's 2 of these necks. I don't know why I'm holding just one. So there's 2. This could be a cool double neck. Both necks identical. And you know,
the first double neck you ever built was like that.
That's
customer's
right.
Request.
That's right. The customer requested that both necks be identical, and people ask me, they're like, "Why would you want that?" And I'm like, "Well, if you've ever seen a double neck, you'll instantly know that it's part of the band."
And he's got them tuned differently. So.
Well, he does. But wouldn't it be cool? Well, anyway, so.
My whole deal with double necks is you got to play both necks every song.
Yes.
And if you have 2 necks that are identical, then that makes it real easy.
Yeah, it does. It does. You just this flick of the switch, and yeah. Plus, it's cool looking.
Well, yeah, double necks are just cool.
Do you know the name of the guy in the comedy troupe who played the bass player on Spinal Tap?
Yeah, Harry Shearer.
Yeah. So he said that he has a BC Rich double neck that's just 2 identical basses. And he walked into the BC Rich store in California before that movie was a movie. And he said, "Why would anybody want?" Or he says, "Are both these necks identical? They're the same?" And the guy's like, "Yeah." "Well, why would anybody want that?" And the guy goes, "Because it's a double neck." I'm like, well, got my checkbook out and bought it right then. So yeah, it's absurd and it's cool and I love it. So anyway, yes, ma'am. What's happening?
No, my left eye is.
Oh, you got an eye boulder? All right.
I'm old. Everything's failing.
Oh, lady. So, Chris, guess who I talked to? Let me just start over. Chris, you know who I talked to yesterday? I mean, you know who I talked to, but you know who I talked to?
No, who'd you talk to?
I talked to the one and only Brian Nutter. And I actually talked to him on the phone. I didn't talk to him, because we email sometimes back and forth. But I called him and he answered, which means,
that's a good sign.
1, he was at home. 2, he felt good enough to talk on the phone, and 3, he sounded great. So I'm really hoping that Brian is
out of the woods.
Yeah, and it just has he's got some healing still to do, but he sounded like $1 million. Good. And we chatted for just a few minutes because he has dad stuff to do. So, but yeah, I was happy to hear from him, and it was cool to talk with. I called him, so I guess I didn't really hear from him. He heard from me.
And I think 4, he wanted to talk to you.
You heard him answer the phone when it was you, so.
Well, he didn't know it was me.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because he's like, hello? So, yeah.
Oh, so then.
Hey, man. Oh, yeah, I totally
Probably
sneaked
would.
in on him. Yeah.
Okay.
He probably thought
so
I was a
4 is
customer.
maybe not. Yeah. That's oh yeah. Oh. Yeah.
No, it was good to talk to Brian. Like I say, he sounded like $1 million. Sounded like stuff was getting back to normal.
Good.
And I told him about the Great Guitar Build-Off guitar, and I said, hey man, if there's any way to do this and you're feeling good enough, why don't, when we're done with the guitar, we fly out to Nashville and you can play it for a little while and hang out with you. He's like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. So that would be really, really fun.
Yep. Yeah. Red Clover Guitars says double necks are cool.
Double necks are cool. Red Clover has a couple going right now. They don't have blue fretboards.
No.
I mean, they do, but
they
yeah.
could.
They just happen to be right over here.
Yeah,
they're going to be like
a little bit
this
week.
angle.
Yeah.
No, they're not. They're going to be regular. So 12 on the top and 6 on the bottom, and yeah.
Why is it always the 12 on the top?
I don't know. Why is it like that?
I don't know. Is it always like that?
I don't know.
Well, the
Traditionally,
couple
it is.
that you guys have made at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think because it's easier to play. I think you want the neck that you play the most lower, because the other one is up here.
Yeah.
Because it seems like it'd be easier to like see both necks with the smaller one on top and tune the pegs with the smaller one on top. That's
that
why.
would make sense actually.
I think it seems more functional. But
You know
I'm
what
not
I
a
think is
guitar
more
player.
functional is just 2 identical necks. But anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh,
thunderation.
Bobby's
Man, it wasn't supposed to
whipping
rain
out.
today.
Well,
I didn't think.
guess what?
Guess.
Yeah, it
Well,
might
maybe
rain.
it's not raining. It's just
Maybe not.
thundering.
Yeah.
So can I take a step back for
Yes.
a second? And the blue guitar from the reveal on Friday
Yes, ma'am.
that sold before the reveal actually
Uh-huh.
happened. That is, you sprayed water-based dye on that neck. Is that right?
Yeah. Does someone want to know how we did it?
About like a clear coat and stuff like that, and it was a little while ago, but I did.
Okay, so that actually segues nicely into another thing, but we have a super chat that we want to remember to get back to.
Yes.
So during the, Chris and I actually finished up recently on this thing that we called online training. And all of those episodes are archived, and you can buy them all, and you can watch them all. And in one of them, I think it was the last month, we did a thing where we sprayed water trans tint dye, some of Jeff's trans tint dye. Jeff was actually watching.
I know, I saw his comment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't see it on the little tiny screen when it was rolling,
yeah.
but I saw it later. So Jeff from Trans Tint sent us out some that navy blue, and we mixed it with water and sprayed it with a spray gun onto the necks, and we're like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And so we shot around a sealer over the top of that, and the whole idea was it's just going to lock in the blue, and it's going to be rad, and it was sort of like faded denim. So Chris said, you know what, let's do? Let's shoot a candy blue over that to make it bluer. So the first step was blue dye on the raw wood, sealer, Simtex sealer, and then candy blue over the sealer, and then you have to sand in between, to blue to taste, and then clear over the top of that. So it wasn't
Just that easy.
It's that easy. It's not. Yeah, and like I say, that's sort of the dumbed down version of what it was, because Chris worked really, really hard to make that be as cool as it.
And I'd like to make
As it
just
was.
a slight correction.
Yes, ma'am.
When you did those necks like that, you thought it was cool. Not we thought it was cool. We thought you were crazy. But now that it's all put together, it looks
sometimes I have good ideas, and that turned out to be a good one. But that was a joint effort. Everybody kind of pitched in and said, "Hey, what if we put it on?" Chris had this body, and it was a. I didn't know that it was going to be as neat as it was when it was all done. And that was thanks to everybody else here in the shop. So, was there a super chat that we got that we need to?
Yeah, so Jeff Child says that
Hey,
idiot
Jeff.
on Facebook was just jealous. He probably has never built a thing in his whole miserable life. Happy Dad's Day,
Who's
guys.
the idiot? Did I miss something?
The telly
the
thing.
guy who said that's not a real
Telly.
Telecaster, and you posted it on a Telecaster forum, and how dare you? This is only supposed to be for. I'm like, oh, come on, buddy.
Do you know his address?
No, I don't. He's a lonely, sad man. And Jeff came to my rescue on the Facebook group.
Oh,
too.
did he?
And so did some other guys. Driddle posted a picture of his, and but there was a lot of guys who really thought it was neat. So I'm like, there you go. And it says in the thing, don't get into dumb discussions about whether it is or isn't. And so I think one of the moderators was like, look, dude, you need to go start your own group where you can be
Real Telecasters only.
you can be a butthole about what
Yeah.
is. So Jeff, thank you.
So there's a question for me.
Oh,
And
okay.
is that, did I make you a father? And I just have to say one thing
Hmm.
about that, that if Matt has never mentioned any children before, he would be the worst fucking father
Yeah,
in the
I
entire
would.
world.
I would.
So no, absolutely not.
Yes,
Yeah,
Mrs. Toast and I have a dog
that's true.
that we
That doesn't
really
want
like.
braces,
but
doesn't want to go to college.
no,
Yeah.
no, he really doesn't want to do really any. He sort of wants to lay around these days. So he bit Chris one time. but- he's not on this shirt.
He's not
but
on
yeah.
that, but he is on the sticker.
He is on the
I had a
sticker.
I had
I
to
get
see
it.
earlier.
I'll get it.
There it is.
So
He should be on the shirt.
yeah. So
No,
but
it's
anyway,
down.
if any of you guys want to get in on the live training, it's still available, and there's only they're like $10 a month, and you can watch them as much as you want.
That's
so
Bobby.
yeah, so that's our dog Bobby.
And that's me.
biting Chris. He's bitten a bunch of people. So
He didn't
yeah.
break the skin on you though, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like a puncture or a scratch?
No, I bled good. He got
Did
me.
you?
He got me good. It was
Damn.
a good deep one.
You got a scar?
He didn't
I
want to bite
did
you,
for a long
Chris.
time. It's
He just
pretty
had to.
faded now.
I think.
Yeah,
I'm
oh,
not
yeah.
sure how dogs' mind
Yeah,
works.
yeah,
but-
yeah. He didn't want to.
Look, man,
He
I don't
felt it
want
was-
to.
It
He
was
felt
a
it was-
compulsion.
Yeah.
Drew Temeko.
Drew Chimeco, $23.64.
Random
Thank you,
number,
Drew.
that's cool.
That is a random number, but
I think
thank
it's
you,
a
my friend.
conversion. It's probably. He
Oh,
did,
maybe that's
yeah.
Canadian.
Maybe
metric
I don't
money?
Know. Yeah, let's find
Metric
out.
Thank you,
money.
Drew.
Let's find out where Drew is from.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
I don't know.
Metric
Totally
money.
can use
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You double it and add 30. So, Chris, what else has been going on? So, like I said, I talked to Brian Nutter, which is good because I had some questions for him. As you guys know, not just all the proceeds, but every red cent, every plug nickel, every dime that we get from the sale of our build for the Great Guitar Build Off 2020 is going to Brian and his family because he's got a buttload of medical bills. I mean, he's a superhero, you know what I mean? But yeah, anyway,
but we all
but
need
he's
help
one of our
sometimes.
own, yeah. And so I talked to him and I'm like, hey man, I know you do it for me, so this is something that we want to do for you. And so, guys, as you know, all the money from that is going to Brian Nutter, and we've got you got low battery here, Chris.
Oh, I forgot to.
snap.
Hold on, everybody, we're
One
we're
moment.
making moves
People
here.
are asking about
There we go.
purchasing stickers now.
Oh, stickers. I don't know if we have any for
I don't know
sale,
if there's-
but
I mean, it's
yeah.
been a while since we got some stickers.
So
Doesn't
Chris
mean
is-
it can't happen.
Yeah, that's
I forgot
true.
to turn on my
Chris
battery.
is sussing out the battery. So anyway, back to the Brian Nutter thing, and back to the Great Guitar Build-Off deal. Starting Tuesday, we have a film crew coming in, and we are going to do a little teaser for what we're doing in the Great Guitar Build-Off and what, who else is competing and what we expect and the rules and, just kind of what's going on with that. It'll be sort of like what Brad Angove and Big D did, only like good. So yeah, yeah.
I'm a little slow, sorry.
So yeah, we're gonna kind of do it like it's a real Discovery Channel show. I'm working on my script and everything. I think it's gonna be fun. So that happens
Cool.
on Tuesday, and then as soon as we get the our box of supplies that we have to start with from. Do you think we're gonna get pickups? Or yeah, I think it's just
wood.
I think it's just the
body blanket
the
and
body
neck.
and neck stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and I got a few surprises
Not
for you
blank,
guys that I'm
yeah, body.
I'm actually gonna give away some of the surprises on the thing that we're gonna do on Tuesday. The teaser, if you will. So I'm gonna give you guys some more information on that. So be watching for that video.
Yep.
Um,
Dave Hawkinson says, "Happy
Dave.
Sunday."
Thanks, Dave.
Happy Sunday indeed.
Happy Sunday indeed.
Sunday fun day.
Yeah. So, are we ready to switch gears into
Sure.
topic of the day? Or are there any other questions that we need to get to?
I don't think so.
Oh, one thing I should let everyone know: we're working with our good friend Kenny and Jamie from Module Overload Studio and Super Bitchin' Studios. They're going to be doing our filming for us for both the teaser for the Great Guitar Build-Off as well as our video for the Great Guitar Build-Off, which I would like to have be right at about an hour. It's going to be one video where we go from start to finish, kind of like that show on the Biker Beat Off that they used to have. Biker Build Off, sorry, not Biker Beat
That would be a different channel.
That's a different show altogether on a different network.
Network,
That's
yeah.
right. You're
You gotta
right.
pay
This
for
is
that
just-
programming.
Yeah, that's
that doesn't come standard. Standard cable package.
So what was the most fun thing? What was the most how about this? What was the most exciting thing that happened this week, Chris? Tell everyone the story.
Should I tell my version?
Yeah. 'Cause,
Okay.
yeah.
So Matt was working on the prostitute, and he was drilling the hole from the pickup to the control cavity. Usually, kind of a tricky
It can
thing.
be tricky.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'll read.
And he's drilling the hole, and I'm standing across the shop, and I hear, "Damn it!" And I go, "Did you drill through something you weren't supposed to?" "Yeah, but it's okay. It's gonna get black paint, so I can fill that hole." So then a little later, Gah! What happened? I drilled another one, but it went through the top of the cavity, and then a little later, Gah! And I look over, and by then he's got this over his head, and he goes, bash! And he looks at it, and it didn't break, so he does it again.
I got really mad then.
Bash! Yeah. And then he throws it onto the ground, and he's just like stomping
Shaking.
around.
I was
Yeah,
livid.
and he picks it up, and it's sort of broken, but not really, not enough. And I see him take it over to the bandsaw.
At which
and
point you knew exactly
I
why
knew
I was
exactly
doing
where
what
I
I
was going
yeah.
with it. Yeah, but I watched him saw it once, twice, third time, and I thought he's gonna saw right through the middle of the neck. He's so mad, and I knew that he was destroying it so that he wouldn't be tempted to use part of that guitar again. And so he hacked right there. That's the cut where I knew just how mad he was that this project was never going to be a guitar.
Yep.
And everybody says.
And so I posted some pictures of this, and what is it, man?
Oh, so there was a super chat from Doug.
Hey, Doug.
So Tamiko says he gave you the price of a case of Coors in
Oh,
Vegas.
cool. We get to go to Vegas. Thanks, man. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is the difference between, I used to joke around and say that I don't make guitars, I make mistakes and turn them into guitars. But I don't do that anymore. I don't revel in the mistakes that I make. I am bummed out by them when I make them, and I do. But at some point, I have to go, you know what? This guitar is not worth saving.
It's cursed.
Absolutely. It is cursed. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
And it's time to not have this be a project anymore. Don't force this into being a project. And it's something that I want to kind of I think it has merit to talk about, because it has everyone out there who's building stuff has experienced stuff like this, or maybe even specifically like this. I want to tell you about
Elle Woods in Clueless, or Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
She said, "Don't fight the fabric, change the fabric."
That's right.
Yes.
Okay. So I want to tell you. So there's a handful of questions, and of course, here's what inevitably comes up. Well, why didn't you at least save the neck? Well, why didn't you at least save part of it? Well, why didn't you do this? Blah 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 blah. So let's talk a little bit about why this guitar got chopped up, why these holes were drilled the way they were drilled.
This is the first time I've seen this one.
Yeah, and why I decided to have this be not a guitar that had my name on it and had strings on it and somebody was playing. Okay? So there's something that I call, and I'm not making this up, it's a thing in every industry, stacking tolerances. So this guitar neck was actually slated to be for a customer. But what had happened was the headstock end here, the nut end, if you will, is a little on the narrow side for a Gibson. It's right at 1 5/8, which I like to go 1 11/16 for this. This guy here is way too narrow for a Gibson, or probably even a Fender. This is what, like 1 and less than an eighth here at the 20.
2 and an
I'm
eighth.
sorry, yeah, 2 and an eighth at the 22nd fret.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm like, well, we'll just put the bridge on it and get the bridge lined up exactly perfectly right, and it will be fine. But the strings down here might be close to the edge. So, okay, stacking tolerance number 1. Not super hugely, massively a fan of the neck, but willing to work around it. Stacking tolerance number 2. These holes for the string throughs, see how they're not quite even all the way? They're kind of in the wrong spot. It's a little thing, but I'm like, man, when you see it, you can't unsee it. And it's like, okay, all right, maybe it won't be too bad. Stacking tolerance number 3, 4, 5, 6 is these holes right here. Here's a big one. So this body is right at 1.25 inches thick. And drilling from the neck, or from the pickup to the control cavity, I poked through the back, or actually I poked right in where the cover would go. So if this guitar were 1 5/8 inches thick, it'd have been fine. But it's not 1 5/8 inches thick, it's 1.25 inches. So then I tried to go from the control cavity to the pickup. Well, that poked through right there, and then it did it again right there. Now, y'all who are without sin can cast the first stone, but what I should have done is, before I set the neck in, I should have drilled the hole from the pickup to the control cavity, because I had an uncluttered path to do so. And on the new guitar that I built to replace this one, that's exactly what I did. Furthermore, I learned a valuable lesson on this, that I didn't have to do this to my customer's guitar. So that's why what you see here is it's all glued together onto this board, so that I can put it up. It's a sculpture now. And I'm calling it, and let me know if you guys grasp what I'm talking about here, because Mrs. Toast is like, I don't think you're saying that right. Can today you kick yesterday you's ass? And the whole idea is, I want to not forget that I did all this stuff. I want to remember so I don't do it again. Because learning from mistakes is really the best way to go.
Well, and wisdom is the bitch of a teacher.
Yeah,
you get
that's
the
right.
lesson after the test.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. But if you keep making the same dumb mistakes, then that's not cool. So I'm keeping this as a tool to remind me not to do the dumb shit that I did on this guitar
Keep
again.
yourself in check.
Exactly.
And there's some talk about turning this little accident into a happy little bush.
Happy little bush, like,
Little bush, like Bob Ross.
yeah.
There's no accidents. Just would make it a happy little bush.
Somebody who was saying, was it Jesse the Body?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, by the way, Jesse Givens, who is a longtime supporter, has been coming into the shop, and it's good to have Jesse around. Mrs. Toast, will you get that tape roll, please?
Uh-huh. Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
one.
So
Jesse the Body?
so Jesse the Body has been coming in, very, very nice guy. He was saying that, was it him or was somebody else that was saying that every time someone makes a mistake, they should have to sign this guitar and say what they did. Right? Was it him or was it somebody else?
I don't remember
think
that.
I think it might have been him.
Okay. Yeah.
I
So
can't remember.
so Jesse left this roll of tape around, and so I marked it, because I think that's funny. And if you leave your tools around the shop, don't be surprised if they get marked by
Labeled?
my label maker.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Nice.
an homage to Rick Springfield. So anyway,
Damage262 says, give that SG to Crimson Guitars. Salad Top will bust out his 4th century tools and make a looter mandolin out of it.
you know, it's funny because our friend Joseph sent a thing. So he posted it on Instagram, and he said, I bet you Ben at Crimson Guitars would try to make this into a guitar. And Ben at Crimson Guitars said, I forget what he said. I bet you I could start with
I
that.
could work
Yeah.
with that, I
Yeah.
think is what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you have any stories about guitar projects that kind of went awry, please let us know, and we'll talk about them, because everybody can learn something from everything. Chris, have you ever done anything as ridiculous as this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
I drilled
but-
through the top on a pretty nice
Yeah.
guitar that I'm now
Oh, is that one?
Refinishing,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's
It can happen, guys, and it can happen to the best of them. So, not that Chris or I are the best of them. I mean, we're better than all the guys on Great Guitar Build Off, but Hey, I talked with. Did we get a super chat? We need to do something.
yeah, Drew Tomeko
Hey,
gave us
Drew.
$14. I wonder what that buys you in Vegas.
I don't know. A face dance.
Not a gummy. Those cost extra.
Good Lord.
Um,
Glitter Gulch.
Wait, is that a strip joint?
That's my. It's
Glitter Gulch would be an almost as good as almost as good of a name as Lawrence of Arabia for a topless bar.
I think Glitter Gulch is actually
An
place
adult,
in,
a gentleman's
in
club.
Vegas. Yeah, I was going to say it was the name of a stripper, but yeah.
I still think that your idea for the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen's Club is.
Yes. Well, Chris used to have this bicycle ride, the League of Ordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, the log ride.
And I wanted to have the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen's Club motorcycle ride on like Tuesday afternoon.
On the lunch stretch mark.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
yes, on
Stretch mark
Stretch
Tuesday.
Mark Tuesday. That's Mrs. Toast said that. I didn't say that.
I
So.
said it. Well, I got stretch marks. I can say.
Hey. So anyway, let's get back to guitar projects that go awry. Chris, at what point do you go, you know what? This is it could be fixed, but it's just not worth doing.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing is once you start drilling holes through like the path, the drill bit wants to find it's the easiest way to go, and it'll always find that hole that you already have. So when I did this one, I'm like, I'm smashing this thing. I'm so mad. And it's a bummer, but
There's lots of things that can't find the right hole, but
yeah.
Mhm.
So, and like have you ever seen the Paul Reed Smith factory where they cut up guitars and stuff, or that Gibson deal where they ran over all the guitars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think back on if I've screwed up anything. I've messed up neck blanks pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Where you're like, I'm just gonna start a new one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sometimes I think that's the best way to go, and it's hard to, because you got time invested in it and you got material invested in it, and you go, no, I'm gonna through sheer will force this to be a guitar or a guitar part.
And you're not going to save anything.
No, you're just not, and I think that once it's very cathartic too, cutting up a project, even if it's especially if it's a little further along than you would like for it to be, when you're cutting it up.
Yeah, I've seen you cut up several things, but I never
Yeah.
saw you Townsend anything.
No, I was just furious when I did that, but the whole point is to just fail quickly. You know what I mean? And don't dwell on it for too long. And that's something that I think happens when guys first start making guitars, and they force stuff to happen. And now the flip side to that is you can't just cut up everything that you don't like, because eventually you have to just make stuff.
Yeah,
You
there's-
know,
well,
but-
and that's so when is that point?
Only you guys can decide,
Yeah.
And like Clint says,
How many
your name's on it.
Yeah,
How
thank
many
you,
holes
Clint.
in the
Yeah,
top
yeah.
I was
before
paraphrasing.
you have to cut it in
Okay.
half? Yeah. It's
So, so what do you think? I personally think that the ability to separate yourself enough from the project to cut it in half is, like I say, very, very cathartic. And I also think that's kind of what separates the real guitar makers from the hobby guitar makers. Now, I'm not saying that if you guys haven't cut up a guitar, run out and cut one up. But
cut up your next project.
yeah, but at some point you have to stop going, I'm just gonna, fidget this to death and have it not be great when it's all done, and I'm just gonna start over again. And the problem is that I have a shed full of stuff that's never gonna be guitars, and I always cut through so I can't use the neck again. Because what'll eventually happen is I'll go, I bet you I could use that neck again, and no, just walk away.
Cut your losses.
Exactly.
Literally and figuratively.
Exactly. What do we got here?
So Drew Tomeko says, by the
Hey,
way,
Drew.
I am officially inviting you to Vegas when you feel the COVID crap is safe enough for travel. You are the main reason that I became a builder, and Chris pushes me to be a better painter.
Chris is the
Peter!
man. Thank you, Drew.
That's really cool. And
generous.
yeah.
Where does he live in Vegas proper?
I don't know. Vegas is a small town. So
There's other like little like Henderson and
Yeah,
where did Jim
yeah.
Fuller live? Was that is there one that starts with an N?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
You're thinking Nebraska.
That's
Of
right
course I
next
meant-
door.
Nebraska?
Of course I meant Nevada. but I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
being
yeah.
silly.
No, he might have lived in Henderson.
It might have been Henderson.
Yeah, yeah. But he lives in
yeah.
Scottsdale now. So.
Yeah.
So thank you, Drew.
Yeah,
we
that
would
would be
love to
cool.
take you up on your offer. That
Yeah,
sounds like a
yeah.
lot of fun. I saw a thing. The Evil Pie is now like a TNA kind of deal.
What? Evil Pie?
Yeah, the Evil Knievel pizza restaurant now has like they're trading less on the Evil Knievel thing and more on hot young girls in hardly any clothes with pizza and motorbikes.
Okay.
I don't know.
But they still got the Evil Knievel stuff.
Oh,
right?
it's still called the Evil Knievel,
Okay.
Evil Pie. Yeah, yeah.
So Jesse the Body sent $5
Hey!
so that you can get Goog on and unfuck his tape dispenser.
You know, Jesse, your tape dispenser doesn't say Jesse's tape do not fuck with. How you know what Jesse's wife is I'm sure she's very charming. And I would imagine he's heard the whole dumb Jesse's Girl song way more times than he wants to hear from.
I think
yeah.
they're younger than us, so it might not be as prevalent as you think.
He
in
might
their
not know. You think he
generation.
might not know the Jesse's
Well,
Girl
I'm sure
song?
he knows
I'm
of it,
sure
but
he
I'm
I'm
thinking
sure
that-
he does. Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying he doesn't know about it. He's
This
hitting his
this
head
tape
in the sand.
dispenser is rad
It's
now.
totally rad. No, it's totally rad. Look
That's
at
the
how many-
total hop-up kit for that. That's
Yeah.
like flames and stripes.
Yeah. So he was saying that he got this. This is actually one of the better deals from Stumac. They're not that much, and it's all metal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My tape dispenser that we have a couple floating around. They're just office tape dispensers, and one's all kind of plastic with a bunch of cement in it, and it fell and broke, and I have it all taped together. And then,
Yeah, but it's got that good tape with the strings
the
in it.
strapping
Yeah.
tape. Yeah. Thank you. Is Jesse back from Texas?
I don't know. He didn't say.
Okay.
I haven't checked his tracking device.
Yeah, he has a chip.
We chipped him when he wasn't looking. Put it in his food.
Yeah. Yeah.
But don't put it in a bagel because you can't have it.
That's right. Did anybody share any stories about guitars that they decided to
Well,
cut into with a bread
I'm
knife?
trying to find it now, but someone says they have like 6 of those hanging on their wall. Yeah, oh, John Meehan. I have about 6 guitars nailed to the wall as reminders.
Yeah, yeah. I think they're good. There's a handful of guitars that we have, you know, like decoration stuff. There's that Beetle Kill Pine that when we picked it up and it just went, bleh, it's so decroded on the
Pushing
inside
the limits
that
of,
yeah,
yeah,
What's
good
that
wood.
word?
decroded.
Decroded.
Yeah, it's from Napoleon Dynamite.
I
Yeah,
don't remember that.
it was a decroded
I
piece
must
of
have
crap.
been in the bathroom.
You must have been, yeah, taking a break. So there's a handful of things. Like I say, I have a shed full of stuff that didn't make the cut, and I just haven't hacked up or
And sometimes,
burned in
yeah,
effigy
it's just
yet.
like you just stop the project and go,
Yeah.
Fuck this shit.
But
Put
it's
it
more
under-
fun to cut it up.
put it under the.
You know what the shed should be? You need to get rid of all that shit, and then the shed could be full of lawnmower, snow shovel.
That's all in there.
Snow.
It's all in
snow
there.
blowers.
It's in
You
there.
lie.
No, it's in there. You go and look for yourself. But the upper part, there's still a boatload of stuff. So maybe when we do Texas Toast Days, or maybe when we do our July class, we'll drag some of those guitar projects over and burn them out in the street. You think we can get away with that?
Well, the war zone last night.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about that, Chris. How it's right around the corner.
It really is.
Are you stoked for
Yep.
for the special July classes?
I'm a
and
little
Dylan
scared.
talks tone? I still don't know. I know that Dylan will be here the whole week, and you said he's working his way west.
He's
Yeah,
in Kansas now, which
Okay.
is just right next door.
it's not going to be long. He might get here before the 5th. I don't know. But I think they know people all along the route.
Yeah, I think so. And
Yeah, they hang and yeah.
You don't have to come to Colorado
No.
from Kansas.
No, yeah, that's true. You can go lots of ways. But it is right around the corner. Now, I did talk with Dan from Guitar Wood Experts. I know he's coming. I
How's
just don't
Dan?
exactly know when. He just sent me a text. Hey, when is it? Is it these days? And I'm like, no, it's these days. He's like, okay, good. I'm glad So I think he's got for all I know, Dan's coming for the whole time, but I don't think he'll be able to. He's got a lot of stuff going on too. But I know he's going to come for part of it. I'm looking forward to that.
I need more honey, Dan.
Yeah, Dan. I know that Mike Learn said he was going to be around for a little bit. Now, he had a family emergency, so he might not be here for the whole thing, but I bet you
I'll bet he's
he'll be here
back
for
by
part.
then.
Lots of cool guys are coming to the class. We've got so much great stuff
What
happening.
time did the class starts every day?
Oh, thank you. I need to let everyone know. Classes are 10 to 6 every day.
And then
With
But
Zumba
that's
from 10 to 10:30.
That's so loose, though, because what's going to happen? Guys are going to show up early.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to pull up and there's going to be a parking lot full of guys ready to go. No, but the people do want to start.
well,
they're
especially people from the East Coast because they're 2 hours.
oh,
ahead
that's
and they're
right.
bringing-
Yeah, and they're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do
Sitting
for?
around here.
Yeah.
And then there's a question. I'm sorry to jump topics.
Oh no, go ahead.
If you got your kit for the build off yet?
No, we have not gotten the kit from the build off yet.
Yeah.
And but I have every reason to believe that it's right around the corner. Guys, if you haven't gone to thegreatguitarbuildoff.com to kind of see what's going on, there's lots and lots of good stuff, information there. There should be more. But you know what's happening is that Ben and I are the only ones posting stuff. And there's 6 other people that could be posting shit, but they're not. Maybe they don't. I don't
Because
know.
they didn't grow up watching WWE.
Yeah,
WWF.
maybe.
I know.
but-
I'm not calling it WWE.
yeah, I don't like to call it WWE either. Is there what
So
else?
Drew says, as for damaged guitars I've made and remade, i.e. veneered over many of the drill-through damages.
That's a good way to go.
Also, the drum sander should be here tomorrow. Thanks for tips.
What drum sander did he get?
I don't
know.
Okay.
And then Mike Edwards says, American cash for Texas Toast Beer Fund. Or
Ah!
anything else.
Thanks,
Thank
Mike.
you so much.
Is it Mike?
Yeah, Mike Edwards.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll take American cash. I'll take Canadian cash.
Metric cash.
Metric.
What about
yeah.
yeah,
Totally
pretty
steal
much
that.
anything
But
of
American
value, yeah.
spends the easiest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here in the States.
So what is the kit guitar?
I can't spill the beans yet on that. But what I can tell you is that we know that Big D will be making a Telecaster, right?
I think so, yeah.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
We know that Philip McKnight is making their SRP kit, right? Which, if you do a little bit of finagling or looking in the mirror, you
Dyslexic,
can see
yeah.
what that is. Do we know what anybody else is making? Do you guys know what anyone else? We haven't really
I think
seen
I saw
it.
another. I think I saw another Telly neck
Oh, okay.
in the pictures
Okay.
when they were doing necks.
That's right. Some of the guys said are getting custom
I think
inlaid.
there was a Les Paul. Yeah, I think
Yeah, I'd be surprised if there weren't a Les Paul.
neck
There's got to be a
that I
Strat
saw.
floating around
Yeah,
too, right?
yeah, you would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve Folino
Hey, Steve.
says new Steve from California trying to come for the week.
That's right. Steve wants to come out and do. We talked about he wants to make.
Oh, the
He
neck.
kind of wants a custom class. Steve, we can do that. We just got to figure out what days you want to come out here and do it. Yeah, he wants to do some neck stuff, and he's like, I think we can pull that off. I sent you an email. You might not have got it, but yeah, let's go ahead. Tell me what days you want to come, Steve, and we'll make that happen. Okay?
Thomas Kolb says, there you go, some metric cash.
Thanks, Jimmy Carter. I still don't know the metric system.
Ariel was talking about like radiuses on skis because she used to be a ski. Maybe she still is. Skates. That's right, not skis. And she was talking about metric and stuff, and she was talking about meters of radius. The we work in inches of radius, but like some like ESP, Ibanez are all in millimeters of radius, and they're probably pretty high numbers, right? What's this one? There's a lot of words there. Is that like a guitar that needs to get
Uh,
Mike? I need to cut my guitar up thing.
What are you talking about?
no.
Oh, Mike Edwards. I created a couple double cutaways that didn't start out that way.
I hear that. I hear
I think
that.
that's what you're looking at. Yeah.
So sometimes you do, what do they call it? Design build, where you hack it up as you go until it looks right, and usually it doesn't look right.
Yeah.
We did that Paduke one that we did for Dr. John, who actually he sent me an email today saying that the guy got it and I think he really likes it. He's a picture of the guy who it was for. That was one where we laid it out and it looked good until we got the neck on it. And I'm like, oh man, it needs to get a lot cooler than it is. And it worked out good on that one. That was the Paduke one we did a reveal on. Had a Warmoth 24 fret neck and EMGs. It was really, really cool. So, yeah.
Yeah.
What
cool.
else is going on? What else you got there? Anybody got it? There's
Lots
some
of good chatter.
stuff coming in. Is it
Lots
all?
of, people are talking about,
Are they talking amongst themselves?
Yeah, dropped a body.
Okay.
I've done that. Like literally, I'll go buff this tiny little
dude.
scratch. Thunk.
Remember we did that to Jim's Explorer, which he loves. And I hung it up on one of these hooks
It was just
over here.
finished. And
Chris just buffed it.
Yeah.
Or something happened. I was
just
doing
finished
something
it.
with it. I just did
it
frets.
had been buffed, and you just finished frets.
Yeah.
And you hung it up.
I hung it up, and the guitar went. The headstock
like over
tilted.
5 seconds. Kinda
Yeah.
Twisted
Yeah.
off and fell down.
I had my back
swung.
turned because I was still walking away from it, and I heard ka-thunk, bong, boing, boing, and I'm like looked around, and Jim's guitar is going, burr, 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 and I'm like, oh no! Yeah. So
dented the windowsill.
it was not good. Didn't break the
It
neck.
was actually good that it hit something on the way down, I think.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was ready
Slowed the
to
momentum.
put pickups in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was needed
could've
all
been
new everything.
So much more
And
heartbreaking.
I
than it was.
didn't. I'm like, Jim, we got some paint work we got to do on your guitar to finish it up. We had to really hustle to get a lot of stuff done on that. And
Yeah.
I later told Jim, but I'm like, I don't want to tell him that, what really happened, because he's the kind of guy, Jim is the kind of guy, he works in manufacturing too. And he's like, no, I want stuff to be, I get it. And I want it to be handmade, and I want stuff like that. But I know what he would have said. He just said, just send it. And I'm like, no, I can't let you have it like this. I want it to be perfect when you get it.
So Grey Heart says, saw Matt in the Sully breakfast yesterday.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
All right, John Sullivan from Sully Guitars
I
has
know
a
it.
thing on Saturdays. I think it's Breakfast with Sully. And I was scrolling through Facebook while I was drinking coffee and fiddle farting around. And that came on my feed, and somebody said, it might have been John, said, what do you think about the Great Guitar Build-Off? And so I'm like, oh, I should chime in here. So I sent a thing to Sully. I'm like, yeah, man, check out the Great Guitar Build-Off. And he's like, well, what the hell is that? And so he goes and looks, and he's like, the best guitar builders on YouTube. Well, I'm not invited. And then he did what Big D did. Well, I don't have time to do that anyway. So, John is a very cool guy, and it would be really neat to have some other guitar builders. I think he was kind of put off that it says kit build. And I wonder, I don't know if John thinks this, but I wonder if John Sully thinks, well, this is just for kit guitar guys, not for real guitar builders. And I'm like, man, I got news for you. If you think we're just building a kit, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, so that guy, Grey Heart, said that was me, John.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, but I like the kit idea because it levels the playing field.
Well, it levels the playing field for everybody else.
Well,
because we're
but-
still going to blow
listen,
doors on
You're all on
everybody.
the same field. Just
That's
because you're a
right.
better player.
That's right.
Sorry.
So it
Not
levels the
sorry.
playing field
Yeah.
for them. Because I've got some tricks up my sleeves. You got any tricks up your sleeve, Chris? I know you do. It's gonna be
Yeah.
super, super cool. And I'm looking forward to kind of spilling the beans a little bit as we go. Like I said, we're doing a teaser video that should air very quickly about what we've got, ideas that we've got, and things that are coming up on the Great Guitar Build-Off. It's going to be really, really cool, you guys. So, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
So SS says, let me know what we need for the build-off, fellas. Texas Toast can market it if no one else can't.
Thank you, SS. Here's what we really need. You, sir. I'll tell you, sir, what we need. SS did those. What are we calling those? The Kentucky Colonel?
No, they're the Smith Brothers cough
That's
drops.
the cough drops guy. God, that artwork is so great. We got to get shirts made with those on it. That would be so funny.
Yeah.
SS, could we get like 2 of the, just the faces on his shirt? That'd be great. I'm thinking we should get like string ties and those out. Chris,
we should actually.
Your
do
sister
that.
said that. What do we look like in the picture? That
She said that I look like crazy Mel Gibson, and that you look like
Nandor.
one of the vampires from What We Do in the Shadows.
Get your hands off my wife's firm but ample backside. Mrs. Toast doesn't have a very big bottom.
Oh.
She's like a reed. She's so thin. She could stand to put on 50, 60 pounds. Easy.
Dude,
Just saying.
Do you feel like you're riding your bike on train tracks or having sex or something? Come on. Jesus.
Sometimes I get a spoon and I look at her reflection and it's all round. And I'm
And you're like, yeah.
yeah, all right. So, no, Mrs. Toast is very slim. So anyway, that's what we need. We need more of that stuff. That shirt idea was awesome.
That alone made me sad that I shaved my beard. just because I'm like, oh, well, if I look like that.
I know, right?
But I know I didn't look like
well,
that.
that's
There
just
was,
it.
Yeah, there was some artistic.
There's a little bit of artistic license.
Taken with it. Yeah.
What happened? Mrs. Toast is cracking up.
I'm sorry. So Tom L says, looks like she puts on about 235 pounds every now and then.
What?
That's you.
Oh, me? Yeah, I do. Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know how much I weigh. I bet it's got to be
probably
over
about
200.
235 pounds.
Woo, 235?
That's
Do you even
all
know
right.
what you weigh now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to look on the scale.
It's a number that I thought I never could actually hit.
I would never crest.
And it's not
that
like I was
number.
trying.
Yeah.
But here we are.
But I do love ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of things I love.
Yeah, beer and ice cream. Oh man. Well, so were there any other things that people put up where they hacked their guitars up or put them on the wall? Never.
There was a good one about a router bit flying out of the router, messed up the body, tore my pants, barely missed my leg, and cracked a brick.
Whoa!
On the front of the house.
I that happened to me once. I was doing before I got my beloved pin router. This was years ago.
That was your beloved pin router, wasn't it,
No.
when you were setting it up?
No, that was a different one.
Oh, okay.
But I was before I got my beloved pin router, and I was doing Les Paul carve tops, and I was routing, and the bit I had like a sled made that the router would travel on, and I needed just a little bit more, and so I had the bit clearly wasn't in the router enough because it went boink and flew out. Bart actually has the guitar that later became. Had I been in the spot where I am now, then that guitar would have gotten cut up, but it didn't. It got a new piece glued on, and that was that. So, but yeah, what
There you
is
go.
it?
I'm just laughing at you.
Oh me, oh yeah. There's
It's
you know,
easy.
sometimes shit happens, and you guys gotta you can, like I said. Building guitars isn't always fun, and you can love it, but there's no guarantee it's going to love you back. So.
Yeah, not like you
Kind of
talking
like
about
dating
me
a
like
German
that.
chick.
Uh huh. Well, do you what, huh?
I don't like you talking about me like that.
I didn't talk about. Chris said it. Like, yeah.
No, he said German. You said Jersey.
I did once. Yeah. So. That's why we have a dog.
Because I'm from Jersey.
Because Mrs. Toast doesn't always like me, but Bobby always likes me. So yeah.
Not when you touch my feet, he doesn't.
What else, Chris?
God, it's almost 6 and we didn't get to snarky comments.
Oh shit! Yeah,
We talked a little
snarky
bit about-
comments.
I just put that in there because I think it's a funny thing to put on.
Yeah, there was that one guy had the Telecaster snarky comment. Were there any other snarky comments?
There was the one about how the prostitute is too long.
Yeah,
That guitar is you're never going to be able to find a case for that guitar.
Yeah, so the new prostitute has the headstock that Mrs. Toast and I designed many years ago, and I like it way better. And there was a guy who was like, "That's way too long. It's never going to fit in a case." And I'm like, I don't think it's any longer than a Gibson. And as it turns out, we actually measured it. It's like 1/8 of an inch shorter than a Gibson. So I have every reason to believe that, and the headstock angle is correct too. So.
Yeah, we can find a case.
Yeah, I don't think I'm not having
How
any
many times
trouble.
have you done that
Never.
and never had a problem?
We have never had a problem with
It's not
that,
so big, it's not going to fit
They
in
make
it.
lots
Yeah.
of cases.
Yeah.
I know all you guys think it's so much bigger than
Yeah.
it is, but it's not.
Yeah.
I think because it was I love that headstock. Now this one might have been a little tricky because it is quite a bit. It's an Arrow headstock, and the one that we're building for I can't remember your name, sorry, but the guy who's having us build him one, a single pickup with Arrow headstock. We'll see if we can't make sure that you get the right case for that. But yeah, getting a case that's no big shake.
So Drew says a great luthier can make a mistake disappear or work it into the build and modify the original design.
Yeah, you can.
Depends on the mistake.
Well, it
Yeah.
depends
And how
on.
many times you made it on that one guitar?
It depends on on what the and what's the original vision of the guitar.
Yeah. Oh, like I said, this one had stacking tolerances. It had a bunch of stuff I wasn't really red hot on. And then a bunch of things that, like, if it was some pokey through deals, I'd have been like, you know what, let's route a channel in here and put a pick guard. But
It wasn't meant to be.
yeah, this one had so many things that I really was kind of like, I'm not crazy about it. And then it just needed to just go away. So, and then we built the new guitar, and it's way cooler. It's very, very close to being a perfect guitar. None of them are, you know what I mean? But you get close. So,
Yeah, and
how close have you come to building a guitar that doesn't have any errors at all?
well, we always talk about that building guitars and not having any oh shit, what do I do now moments. And I think we've done several of those.
Although the new Prostitute has an oh shit moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a big deal.
No, we didn't have to scrap the whole thing.
I was waiting for that.
On the new one, what happened was we had the neck was not set in yet, and I drilled a hole from here to here, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, the stud for the Tune-o-matic bridge is gonna go right through that hole. And sure as shit, I'm like, normally we wouldn't drill these two holes until the neck was set, and I'm like, we better drill those holes and index and find out where it is. My hand to God, this hole went right in. You could not fit a wire through there. It was exactly perfect. And I'm like, son of a bitch. So we had to hog wire out and yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah. So not too many guitars there's not too many oh shit moments anymore.
Yeah. Eddie Blues says, but master luthiers don't pass mistakes out. Don't pass mistakes out.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I don't get it.
I think what he's saying is that if master luthiers don't
just pass it along.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
And once again, it's how bad is the mistake? How I mean, you wouldn't have been happy
no.
veneering this and rebinding it and doing a bunch of stuff like that. So, yeah.
John Meehan said he got a new bandsaw just to cut his mistakes in half.
Yeah.
Not after you smash it like a madman. Sometimes smashing it like a madman is a good thing.
And very cathartic.
It is.
Did you feel bad about it afterwards?
Oh yeah. I felt bad for the basically whole day. I was so mad.
I haven't done anything like that in a really long time, but in my younger years, I did that kind of stuff all the time. I was Mr. Smash. I was Mr. Bash things.
Yeah.
Not ever anybody, but stuff. And I always felt so good right after bashing it, and so bad.
Yeah.
10 seconds after that, or an hour later.
You know what's weird? If this were a Gibson, this neck joint goes from here to here. It's 4 inches of neck glued into the body. This was hard to bust. I broke this part here.
And the only reason that it broke there was because there's the control cavity.
Yeah, it's
there.
very thin
Yeah,
there.
there's not a whole lot of stuff.
I probably could have wailed on this. It's a testament to...
You should have spun it around and hit it on this side to see if you
try
could
to get
shatter
it to...
the...
Yeah. And the headstock isn't going anywhere. Yeah,
No.
the 7-degree headstock. I'm a believer in that.
Did it hurt your hands?
Yeah, it did. I cut myself. Yeah. So, yeah, and there's probably a way you could smash it better, but I really wanted to axe handle it.
Man,
So.
yeah. And the only thing I could do was just stand there and go.
Yeah, you're right.
Stay out of the way.
Yeah, you're like, oh, geez, Matt's
Yeah, nothing I could say.
No.
Nothing I could do.
No. And it felt good too to be done with this. And now the new Prostitute is ready for paint.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So what'd you do? So then you went outside and stomped around.
And I went and mailed a neck
okay.
to a guy
Okay.
that needed some fret work that we did frets on, and we mailed it to him.
Ugh.
And then I came back and then I immediately started work on the new one.
And you dug the old one out of the trash.
I dug the old one out of the trash so I could look, so I could survey the damage and like I said, make a little sculpture. And then I immediately started work on a new one.
You gotta be happy. You gotta be happy that the binding stays on as well as it does.
Yep.
I mean, really.
Yeah,
There's
where
a lot
I
of
hit
things
it
to
here.
learn. Yeah. Well, yeah. That it finally shattered that, but.
But pretty much it's
But,
intact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The binding's good to go. It'll go through
Even
the bandsaw.
Yeah, because it wasn't like you daintily cut it in half.
No. Yeah.
So yeah,
But anyway, yeah.
it was a good time.
Good time. It wasn't a good time, but it needed to be done. What happened, and we move on. And whoever gets the new guitar is going to be really happy with it. And I'm going to be really happy when I see it on stage. And yeah, so Chris, what else is going on? You about ready to wrap this one up? Anything else?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Well, I can't see what the screen says. Mrs. Toast, is there anything that you want to tell people about?
Me?
Yeah.
I got nothing to say.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, thanks for joining us on a Sunday. It's always cool to hang out with you guys and just kind of shoot the breeze about stuff and drink some beers and kind of get ready for the week. We've got all sorts of good stuff coming up your way. Oh, we've got a video that you did. Starting when did you schedule it? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning, early. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So new video that Chris did, and watch for that. It's wildly entertaining.
I don't want to go to work tomorrow.
I know.
Severely doubt that it's wildly entertaining.
A lot of good information.
A lot of good information.
So watch for that one coming out at you tomorrow morning. Stay tuned, of course, to the YouTube channel for all the updates. Facebook and Instagram are always good places to go. Check out Flipside Music, the great American guitar store for all of your guitar needs, including Texas Toast guitars. They have the largest effects pedal dealer in
the Troy
probably
County area.
500 miles of Denver.
Probably.
Tell Ike and Dylan that Matt and Chris and Mrs. Toast said hey. They've kind of altered their what the FAQ to be like pedal demos, and that's a very, very cool thing. I really like the new format that they got going over there. So now what they're not doing yet is they're not saying in the title what pedals they're going to demo, but that's coming any day now, I bet you. So check out Flipside Music, the great American guitar store. Thank them for sponsoring the podcast. If you would like to sponsor the podcast, please let me know. We've got a couple of different tiers that we can help you guys with. Thanks for everybody who did Super Chat. That's very, very kind of you. And if we're ever in Vegas, actually, I would love to get to Vegas.
We will be in Vegas at some point.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's do that. There's also talk of going back to Nashville and having Brian Nutter play the contest guitar, which is going to blow you and everybody else in the group.
It's going to melt some fucking faces.
It's going to melt some faces. Carrie Ann and I watched Brian Nutter right before he did the his Super Bowl appearance. So, yeah, I mean, he's a superhero. We have no business knowing that
He's been
guy.
on Saturday Night Live. He played
Multiple
the Super Bowl
times.
halftime show.
Multiple times. Yeah. So anyway. So guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on the live stream. We do it every Sunday at 5. This is Matt at Texas Toast reminding you that if you're so smart, build it yourself. And life is short. You might as well have a cool guitar. Thanks for watching, y'all.